One of the key facets for storm chasers when they're out on the road is the Great American Travel Stop. Alright, dude, if you're gonna cause problems, get the hell out of here. There's a lot of different places in this great country that you can stop and get refueled, rested, and get the snacks you need to get out on the road and see the storm of your dreams. So today, I'm going to be taking a few minutes and ranking all the ones that I can think of for your enjoyment. Let's get started. There's nothing wrong with either of these travel stops, considering they're the same things. You usually see them in like the middle of interstates and stuff like that. They got all your snacks that you can need. They have decent gas. They have half clean bathrooms. At the end of the day, it's a truck stop. It's pretty good, but it doesn't live in the minds of chasers like some of the other greats do. We're gonna put this at a solid B tier.
You gotta be kidding me, 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 you gotta be kidding me.
Never in my life have I actually been to a TA travel stop, but I hear it's pretty decent. And that's all I can really say. I mean, I know they have showers and stuff there, and there's a bunch of gas pumps, and you're usually never waiting because it's not the first stop for anybody. I'm sure they've got snacks and all that. I'm sure it's fine, but it's just not something that, as a storm chaser, you're sitting there thinking, man, I need to get to a TA. I need to get to a TA travel stop. We're gonna put him at a C. Alright, folks. This is where it starts to get good. Casey's. There is something just very homey about Casey's, as somebody who's been from the Midwest. Now look, we didn't have these in Michigan where I grew up, but I've had friends from Minnesota and Illinois talk about how much they love Casey's, and ever since I've been here in Oklahoma, it's been really nice to be able to go and get some of those coconut-coated donuts. Oh my god. The food there is always top tier. They've always got good snacks, they've always got good coffee, and their gas is usually relatively cheap. The only downside is, if you're south of Oklahoma City, you don't really see them. It's really more of like a northern plains and high plains kind of business, and for that reason, I'm only going to be able to put them at A tier. If you're ever in the area of a Casey's and you're like, man, I kind of want a slice of pizza, Casey's has some really good pizza. Oh, I'm going to need a snack after this. Wow! Alright, I'm going to put this simply. Wally's is a ripoff. Wally's is so incredibly mediocre, and it is really difficult for me to accurately describe the feeling that I get when I drive past a Wally's and I see that RV out there with like the Whataburger W on it, and you're going by there thinking, man, this is Buc-ee's but mediocre. Wally's is to Buc-ee's what the American Top Gear is to British Top Gear watchers. If you know, you know. For that reason, it's going to go to C tier. You can't be the best if you are the imposter of the best. 7-Eleven, get the good things easy. 7-Eleven's the GOAT. You can get a big ass Slurpee for $2 at 7-Eleven. They've got all the snacks you need. The workers don't give a damn about what you're out doing with your day. They got cheap gas. They got good accommodations. It's an S tier company.
It is time to get some gas.
You know, I don't have any problems with Quick Trip. I just don't think it's one of those companies that I would ever seek out. I don't know. I'm gonna put them in B tier. There's nothing wrong with Quick Trip. You know, they've got decent snacks, they got good bathrooms, there's probably like a pizza place or a Godfather's Pizza attached to it. It's clean in there. I think it's 24 hours. I don't remember. It's always a good deal when you go into a Quick Trip. It's just not something that I think about when I think about storm chasing. So I'm going to put it at a B tier, and if you think differently, fight me in the comments. I'll be sure to be fighting back.
Back up! Back up!
Marathon's hit or miss. I mean, it's fine, but it's not great, and it's also not really something that's out on the Great Plains very much. That's a C tier travel stop, for sure.
I got 7 McElevens, about 8.
Alright, let's get real about the Rat Shack for a moment, because look, I love the fact that it is the most American travel stop that you can go to. I love the fact that there are endless gas pumps and endless snacks and merchandise inside to match, and there is nothing more American than that. This is what happens if you give Ronald Reagan free reign over whatever the hell a gas station can become. If you think Walmart is a powerhouse in providing everything, you've never been to a Buc-ee's before. And I will steal beaver nuggets if I have run out of money to purchase them legitimately. For legal reasons, this is a joke. As a storm chaser, I will always seek out a Buc-ee's, and I will forever be frustrated by the fact that I'm waiting in line for gas, I'm waiting in line for food, I'm overwhelmed, and it's an A tier for that reason. Buc-ee's is not the premier storm chaser travel stop, okay? If you want to be in and out and get your stuff and get focused on the mission, this is not where you want to be. If you're out dilly-dallying and you want to go running through a field and you don't care if you see storms or not, Buc-ee's is great. I will kiss that rat on the mouth, but it's not an S tier for chasers.
Pause.
Oh my god!
Anki's a tough one, because they've got really clean facilities, it's always a quick in and out, they've got a whole bunch of snacks and food, and they've got fresh sandwiches that are really good, all sorts of drinks, good clean bathrooms, but the gas is just a little bit more expensive than it probably is in most places. I think they're like more of a premium travel stop than some of the other spots. But it's not bad. I'm never mad about stopping at an Anki for some goodies, so I'll put it in a B tier.
The convenience stores of Speedway.
Alright, let's get real about Speedway. If you like Speedway, get off this channel. That's all. Valero is an incredibly mediocre gas station as it is. There's nothing that's inherently wrong with it, it's just not super clean. It's kind of on the level of Marathon, where you don't see them a ton unless you're in the middle of nowhere and they're charging you 15 cents more for gas than they ever should. So they're going to go into C tier, because they're still there. They're not awful, but I would never ever seek one out. If you can avoid it, just go somewhere else. Love's is a really tough one. Love's always has a Subway built in, so you can get a mediocre sandwich. Their gas is always relatively cheap, and it's close to my heart because the Love's headquarters is here in Oklahoma City, and it's an Oklahoma-born company. There's literally a county in southern Oklahoma called Love County. That is how embedded this company has been in the state culture for God knows how many years. So where do I put it? Because it's not always the cleanest, the workers aren't always the nicest, there's not that many locations, but it's kind of always there when you need it. I'll put that in A tier. I think the Subway puts it in A tier.
Can I also get a bean burrito?
Earlier, I called Buc-ee's the Walmart of gas stations, but I actually think it's more appropriate if we call Murphy the Walmart of gas stations, because there's always a Walmart adjacent to a Murphy USA fuel station, because it is Walmart's brand of fuel station. If you need something that's not in the Murphy, go into the Walmart. Like, they got camera batteries, they got big bags of chips, they got blankets if you're sleeping somewhere overnight. It's never a bad thing to be at a Murphy USA. Not to mention, they've got cheap snacks inside because it is Walmart branded stuff, and they've always got the cheapest gas out of anybody on the block, because Walmart, as you know, they will beat everybody. Now, the one downside is these are usually only in relatively populated areas or like in towns. So if you're out in the middle of nowhere, you're just next to a highway without a store, you're not really going to get as much as you probably need. But the cheapness really makes me think this should be an A or B tier, and it's going to be really hard for me to not say otherwise. Man. It's a B tier for me. So, that's it. My completely subjective ranking of all of the travel stops that I've stopped at as a storm chaser. With the exception of TA, which I just kind of threw in there, I guess. Anyway. I'm sure I missed a few, so if I did, make sure you tell me which ones I missed down in the comments and give them your own ratings. Let's generate a little bit of conversation here, folks. It's not just about what I think. I want to hear what you think, too. And if you want to see more videos like this and get involved with the ChasePal community, make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you check out our website, chasepal.us, and make sure you follow us on all of our social media platforms, which will be linked down below. Until then, chase on.